Let's get back to the
Yeah.
math part, because I used to see life insurance as something that you try to sell and you try to find any excuse to sell. And until I saw the math, and I'm going to credit Tom Love and the Breakaway League, they taught this, they championed this, and it's actually been lately been incorporated in the Circle of Wealth system. Brian Bloom wrote a book called The Equivalent Value of Life Insurance, and he goes through some of the math on this. But once I saw that $1 in life insurance can spend better in retirement than having $3 to $5 in a 401k or IRA. And I did the math myself. I had to deconstruct everything because I'm an analytical almost to a fault. But once I saw that, I was like, wow, that is something I could get behind, because now I can show people how to achieve their financial security goals and do it with less money, at least in terms of the overall lump sum. When I could be the deliverer of that, that's amazing. And the fact is that most of we'll call it the fiduciary crowd, they don't know this math. They don't know it exists. They don't know it's possible. And unfortunately for the insurance industry at large, the fiduciary crowd thinks that a lot of us are just out trying to rip people off. And in some ways, the insurance industry deserves that reputation. I can't fault that. There's been some major issues in the past. But when we can prove it and put it in writing, you can't beat what we do. It's just, it is so amazing that I see almost no reason to ever get my securities licensing again. Now, I've got a CHFC. I can form an RIA or be with an RIA at any time, not a problem. And if I was going to do it, that would be the way to do it, because I don't like all the compliance oversight from 25-year-old compliance people who think they know stuff. And quite frankly, I probably know more than they do. There's a little bit of my ego showing there. But I want the freedom to market and prospect with a quality message that is accurate. I care far more about accuracy and federal and state compliance than I do about company perspectives, which is why I'll never be with a state farm, because they have so many rules on their people that they can't even do ethical things with their products because their hands are tied. So I like the independent model, not necessarily network marketing model, but I like just being independent. Show me what the products are, but I've got to find my own training. I got to find, where am I going to get the best language, stories, questions to engage with people with the message that I'm convicted of. Because if I can lead with that conviction, the question then becomes, does it serve you? If that conviction can serve you, can I see how this can apply to your situation? And sometimes it might make them, sometimes it might not make them better off financially, but they like it anyway. Okay, twist my arm some, make me make the sale, sign here, third copy's yours. As long as I can show the potential. I'm so convicted of all these things, with life insurance, annuities, critical illness and such. And there's so many other things in business planning. And I can't believe this isn't even talked about. I have taken, and I knew I was going to talk about this. I've taken LUTCF, Essentials of Business. I have my CLU, which includes planning for business owners and professionals. Damn it, not one person in the entire course of either of those things talked about the impact of not paying bank loans as a business owner. If you die and there's a bank loan that's outstanding, the bank can foreclose on the damn business, which puts all the rest of your planning, makes it almost irrelevant. And then once I started learning this, I was like, why isn't anybody talking about this stuff? And that's one of the projects I'm working on right now. I have been tasked, and I've been working on this for the past year now, on a business owner consulting designation. And they already had a lot of the content already written. Now, they thought, let's just make us some updates and let's market this thing. And I'm like, no, if we're going to put my name on this thing, we got to make this thing good. And to me, that means let's bring in the mindset. You need a better mindset to work with business owners, because business owners don't have time for nonsense. You got to get their attention. You got to show that you've got something worth talking about. You've got to have the academic knowledge, which they don't necessarily have, but I do. I got it in spades. Now I just got to put it in a format where I can teach it. You got to have the art of delivering on the advice. You got to be able to deliver on it. You got to have a way to share that program, that you have a process, you've got checklists, you are professional. And by doing so, you can command the attention of paying a fee for that advice if we're going through that process. And then there's a whole bunch of other stuff to go with that. So this is going to be a monumental project. I'm doing it in a way, I'm doing it for the person I was 20 years ago when I first got into the insurance side of the business. I wish I would have gotten what I'm doing now. And I'm writing it for that kind of agent, the person who is ambitious, may not necessarily have a huge net worth or network, and they just want to get out there and get a message going. I was just at the NAFA San Diego Small Business Planning Summit, and it was an amazing event, but they mentioned nothing about prospecting.